Hi crafty friends, it's Audra Monk in the Crafty Corner, and today we are making a mountain scene with Stampin' Up super lovely waterfront stamp set. And this was super cool because Connie Heisey, part of my up extended Stampin' Up family, this was her $1 million stamp set that she helped design. After selling $1 million worth of stamps. So one day, hopefully you guys are going to help me out, and one day, maybe far, far, far in the future, I'm going to get to help design a stamp. And guess what it's going to have on it? What do you guess? It's going to have some yoga. But anyway, we're going to get busy. So this is our card, and I'm just going to use it. You need 3 inks, Pool Party, Wisteria Wonder, Tranquil Tide. You need an aqua painter. If you need any of these things, contact me or go to my online store at audramonk.stampinup.net and I will help you out. Do we need anything else? No, this one's really, and you probably could use regular Whisper White, but I'm going to use our shimmery white because I think that works it holds water just a little better. And we're not using a lot of water on this one, but let's get started. Okay, so mount up your stamp set. You're going to need the tree stamp, the mountain stamp, the water stamp, the brushstroke or land stamp, and then I'm going to use a happy birthday. I can't remember what set this is from, but some kind of long happy birthday will work, or whatever you want it to say. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to start with the land. And this land I'm going to do in Tranquil Tide. So, do I want to, you know what, I do want a piece of course, I don't have any extra grid paper while I'm filming a video. That would be crazy. All right, I'm just going to use this. Okay, because it'll stamp off, and if it gets all wet on the silicone mat, then it can make a mess. Okay, so here we go. I'm stamping this slightly above halfway, and I'm going to stamp at full strength. And I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to flip it over. There we go. And then, I'm going to give water to this right now. So make sure your your aqua painter or your paintbrush is not too wet, but that it is a little bit damp. And make sure that it's clean. And I'm just going to run this very lightly over the line. And what it's going to do is take out the stamp part, take out the speckles that kind of say, oh, I'm a stamp. And so people won't know that you used assistance, right? It's not cheating, it's assistance. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, next, I'm going to stamp some purple mountains. So with some Wisteria Wonder, I'm going to do the first row at full strength. So I'm going to ink it up and kind of pick where I want to start. I'm going to do that again. Sometimes I'll just stamp off for the second row, but I think when you're kind of making a picture, sometimes that gets a little tricky. So, and yeah, third row. Okay, now I'm going to ink it and stamp it off, and I'm going to give us some big mountains here at the back. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? How you just stamp off and the color changes just enough. Look at that. Big old mountain range. Okay, now I just did Tranquil Tide, so I'm going to make sure that that's clean. All right, now we're going to give some water to our mountains. I'm going to do the first ones first, the darker ones. So to me, this is kind of, you know, they always say Smoky Mountains or whatever, that kind of feel. And which on the East Coast, we do have mountains like this. I live in Frederick, Maryland, and we have, you know, a couple little mountains you get to see far in the distance, and they're not that far to drive to. I do love to go hiking. Also love going to the beach. So if you haven't seen it already, I did a super quick stamping only tutorial with the Waterfront stamp set because it has beachy stamps too. So a lot of us are using the mountain stamps, but don't forget about those beachy ones. All right, and then I'm going to give a little tiny bit, let me clean that, a little tiny bit to my back mountains. And I want them to stay soft so they look like they're farther away. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right, next up, what is next? Let's go with the water. Just for fun, I'll have all the ink pads open. Hopefully nothing goes crazy. All right, so the water. I'm going to use that kind of line stamp. That makes a good water reflection. And I'm going to stamp it first right in the middle. And I'm going to try to get it pretty close to my line. Good. And then that one, I'm going to take it to one side and stamp it. And to the other side and stamp it. And there we go. Make sure my aqua painter is pretty clean and still just slightly damp. And I'm going to make my water. I'm going to color it in. Yep, just give it a little bit of definition. Good, a little bit out here. Isn't that pretty? Don't you feel all artistic if you're doing this? Maybe you are an artist and then you're just doing this because it's quicker. I am an artist who can use tools and who can copy what other people do. Isn't that cool? All right, and next up, trees. So the trees are, I can't even talk. The trees are in Tranquil Tide, and I'm just checking. Okay, it's not too wet up there. And it looks like I just put 2 sets of trees on here. One to this side, and I want to make sure my, you know what I did? I did do something different. Hold on, let me get a Post-it note. I covered up, okay, hold on, I gotta clean it. Okay, so what I did was, because the trees, see, they have these stems, trunks. I don't want the trunks in there, but I don't want my trees to be way at the top of my picture. So, you know, I'm not going to use Post-it. I like some washi tape. So I'm going to take a little piece of washi tape, and I'm going to put it across the bottom of my trees. Let me show you what that looks like. So it's masking that. And now I'm going to ink my Tranquil Tide. I'm going to carefully take this tape off because since I'm only doing 2 sets of trees, I can use it again. And now when I stamp, there are not going to be, hopefully, let's see, any lines. Ooh, there we go. See, isn't that awesome? And I'm going to do it again. I see the bottom of my paper is still really wide. Okay, so same thing. Blah, blah, blah. Tape across, ink it up, and you can use this anytime you need to mask part of a stamp. But, you know, after once or twice, I'm going to throw this away because it's just, you know, going to mess up. And you know what? Sometimes you're going to put this tape on there, and you're going to ink it up. And do you know what you're going to do? You're going to turn it over and stamp it with the tape still on, and you're just going to make a mess of your project. And you're going to have to start over. Yeah, ask me how I know. All right, and so I'm going to put these trees right here. There we go. And then, with my aqua painter, I'm going to color them in just a little bit, which will intensify their color. Get rid of the Stampin' lines a little bit. So I'm just kind of following the tree, giving it a little squiggle. And then I'm going to smooth in the trees in the land. Yes, because you could see just a little. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. 3 little trees on each side. And then I'm going to smooth in the land. And I think we're done. Okay, so I am going to let this dry a little bit, but all you're going to do, so this is 3 by 4, an 1/8 inch smaller. You could go a 1/4 inch smaller if you want, but see how it's just a little tiny window. The next cool thing about this card is I used our hardwood embossing folder. It's a 3D one. It's real thick. So see all that texture in there? So I did that to pep it up a little bit, and you just slide your embossing folder halfway, and then I leave that out, crank it through my Big Shot, and there I go. The happy birthday, let me show you that. So on a little piece, and I think these are 3 1/4. Let me check one. Yes, so again, one of my favorite things, the little piece, when I'm cutting these back, these insides and backs, these are 4 by 5 1/4, and it leaves these strips behind. Save those. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to stamp happy birthday right a little bit more to one side. Happy birthday in Tranquil Tide, which you could leave it like that, but if you notice on my sample, there's a little bit of color there. So all that is this stripe stamped and stamped off. I'm going to stamp it off twice. And then stamped on there. And that gives it just a little bit of color. Now that I'm looking, I may have done mine in Pool Party. What do you think? But I think it's totally fine, totally usable, no problem at all. And then you're going to put that on with dimensionals, and there you go. Have a great time making cards, or making a project for a friend for a gift, whatever it is. If you need help with anything, send me a message, comment here, let me know you watched the video. Thank you so much, and stay crafty.